for the payment of the land hoarding being covered to the DAR, within the land bank.
Okay, additional explanation coming from Attorney Covarrubias, please.
Let me help clarify the issue regarding the status of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program. The Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program is implemented basically by the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Law, which is Republic Act 6655. When 57, I'm sorry. When this sometime in 2009, Congress passed CARPER, which is Republic Act 9700. CARPER amended some provisions of Republic Act 6655. 6657, I'm sorry. Mahilig ako sa 55. Kasi I was thinking of the Lotto.
Bueno lang, hindi. Bueno lang, hindi 69.
Now, let me quote the Section 5 of Republic Act 9700. According to Section 5, the amendatory law for the CARL, Section 7 of Republic Act number 6657 as amended is hereby further amended to read as follows. The DAR, in coordination with the Presidential Agrarian Reform Council, shall plan and program the final acquisition and distribution of all remaining unacquired and undistributed agricultural lands from the effectivity of this Act until June 30, 2014. However, there's a provision in Section 30 of the same law which provides that all cases or proceedings pending shall continue. That is now the basis for the DAR to proceed, even if there is no more power to issue notice of coverage for those that were not issued. So there is still a legal basis for us not to return the lands that were already issued with notices of coverage. Now, the Department of Justice aided us by interpreting pending cases and proceedings. It does not refer merely to cases filed in court or cases filed with the DARAB. The interpretation of the DAR as well as the DOJ in its DOJ opinion number 59 is that once the notice of coverage has started or has been issued, that is equivalent to the proceedings. So the acquisition proceedings of the DAR in processing to eventually come out with the distribution of the CLOA, which is the final. And of course, the payment of just compensation to the landowners for private lands that were acquired under the CARP.
So it is understood that so long as there is already a notice, no, whether it is adjudicated or not, whether there is a case or not, that can still be covered. So meaning, if I have received a notice, then I will protest, no, and then I will file a case. So that's still the pending case. So within that, so meaning the timeline really is the notice. That's the notice. Okay. So at least may balance sa mga katawang nga makadawat kag notice dili sabton nga humana mabawi nimo ang yuta kun dili nga magsige na, so you have to go into protest aron nga mga abogado do na ra koy mahimo.
Okay, thank you so much, Attorney Rosilio Matoy Barinaga. Before we proceed, acknowledge na to ang pagyabot sa panelist po nato si Edgar Saranda. Go ahead, Edgar. Good morning. Edgar.
Okay, salamat. Good morning sa atong mga bisita karong butagan dito padaguban sa atong RMN Kapihan sa Dipolog. Welcome once again sa atong mga viewers tibuok kakalibutan pinagi itong www.rmn.webly.com o sa atong mga listeners sa tibuok lalawigan ug duha ka Dakbayan pinagi na sa mga radio stations sa Tatak RMN Radio Mindanao Networks. Welcome to the program.
Thank you so much, Edgar Saranda. And i-greet po na ko good morning si Miss Shani Pakatang Jacinto, atong Provincial Information Officer sa Department of Agrarian Reform. Oh, wala palibak, busy pa kaya ang beauty niya, wagod siya nakapaminaw. So, okay, along that line, sa question ni Attorney Barinaga, former Congressman Barinaga, atong ipangutana sir, in Zamboanga del Norte, doon na ba may data, statistics, nga pila ang na-release, pila pod ang pending about to be released sa in land distribution. Engineer Soropio, please. Yeah.
Tingali, we ask ano kaning numbers, no? Numbers. Okay. Numbers katong nabayaran na. Katong mga numbers nga about to be paid. O katong mga numbers nga about to be distributed. O katong mga numbers nga pending. Darap. So, para makuan gyud nato. Ma-dissected na to ba?
Okay, no, so far sa status sa mga compensable sa based on the land bank, marami pa kaming wala mabayaran sa land bank, most in compulsory acquisition. So sa mga BOS, sometimes in year 2000 below 2009, parang halos nabayaran na ang mga landowner, except yung na ay mga prepayments requirements na kailangan sa Dagalan Bank. So at this moment sa Carper 9700s, kaunti pa ang nabayaran namin sa land bank because of some of the requirements. And
Excuse me, sir. Gamay ra ang nabayaran, but then again, the money is there.
yes,
Okay.
there.
That's the important.
So hindi lang ko ma-estimate kung pila pa ang nabayaran sa as the present. No? Kasi ang through the land bank ang ibigay namin ang may records yan kung pila ka mga land holdings ang walang mabayaran o hindi. So yun lang siguro ang
Land
masabi ko.
distribution.
Sa land distribution yan. So,
Okay. Disputed, or is it already about to be paid, or it cannot be paid because there is no amount yet for the moment, or there are some requirements. At least aron gatong tanang nakakuan bitaw, doon na bitaw mga pending cases, they will know really nga no dan, so they can make some representation. I think it's not a big problem, no, because everything is on record naman po. That's computerized. Tingali ang pag-mail lang. So you have to ask Congress for franking privilege for that matter, for di mo gasto. O ang Kongreso mo doon ay franking privilege, kinininon nga importante kayo, dili nung tagaan, no?
So, Parpo Adju will answer that question.
actually, now, that's the question of the inquiry of our Attorney Barinaga on the category of those further have been paid or have not yet been paid or have been pending, that's not. But in our position of this time, we have no record for such except the land bank. But we can look at, we can ask the land bank to submit to that, so that in the next forum we can able to discuss it on the air. Good. That's a nice. It's a really admirable for the good question or inquiry aspect. But as of the status for this year, for 2014, actually 2014 we have 3,115 hectares being covered. This is comprises of 376 land holding being covered. masyadong mahina yung ang coverage natin because we covered private agricultural land. But the past year, we covered government-owned land. So madali yun. Yung GOR ay yung government-owned land, settlement, at saka BLT, yung valuation land transfer. But this time, masyadong mahigpit sa amin yung compulsory acquisition, yung CA, as well as yung BOS, because there are such voluminous na requirement to process it. As of this time, parang tatlo pa yung meron kaming certificate of deposit coming from the land bank for land holding. As far as our accomplishment is only 300 plus, which is comprises about 19 hectares of 19 land holdings submitted to the land bank. Yung we receive only 3 land holding has a certificate of deposit. Ready to go.
Dit,
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
pwede pregunta kung Attorney Covarrubias.
Okay. Yes, Attorney Covarrubias.
Sige. How many at least pending in your office for adjudication?
Before I answer that, sir, siguro we can go over the procedure of before payment is finally given to the landowner. Notice of coverage, once a notice of coverage is issued, if it is compulsory acquisition, so after the notice of coverage, we give the landowner time to either protest, either accept the valuation. So there's a valuation process. Usually the valuation is being prepared by the Land Bank of the Philippines. They will give the preliminary valuation. And once the landowner is informed of the proposed value, they have the option whether to accept it or protest or object to the valuation. So once there is an objection by the landowner as to the proposed valuation of the land bank, automatically it goes to the DARAB for the preliminary administrative determination of just compensation. So these are the cases that goes to us. Meaning to say, if the landowner is not contented with the proposed value from the land bank, it will now be under our jurisdiction, administrative determination. So far, in the DARAP of Zamboanga del Norte, we have only 5 cases for preliminary determination of just compensation. So that is the situation under the DARAP, as far as the DARAP is concerned. The rest of the cases are not for just compensation. There are cases like, for example, the tenant is complaining that he is not being recognized as tenant. There are also cases filed by the landowner for the termination of the tenancy relationship, and so on and so forth. So as far as just compensation, 5 lang. All in all, as far as the DARAP Zamboanga del Norte is concerned, we have, as of January 2014, pending is only 130 cases. 130. But minus 5 yung, including the 5 just compensation cases. And as of last month, we have already reduced quite a number. We have resolved and disposed of several. Some are being dismissed for lack of jurisdiction. They are not really agrarian disputes. So we dismiss. And some others are for merely cancellation of the CLOA, the issued CLOA, the Certificate of Land Ownership Award. Usually, this comes about when a CLOA is issued to several co-owners. Meaning to say, there are so many in one So there's a cancellation. Unfortunately, our jurisdiction is up to case build up only. So we build up the case and then refer the complete case folder to the secretary for his decision. Wala na kaming jurisdiction about cancellation before.
Just last question. With regards to just compensation, okay, when do you determine the value of the land? At the time when you file the case or at the time when you make the decision?
According
The valuation of the land, because if it is long time ago, naturally, the valuation of the land is a little bit lower. You compare it at the present. So when is the time that you have to reckon with how much you are gonna pay? Is it based from the time you file the case and then make the evaluation, or at the time when you discuss
sir,
the
it is
case?
from the time the DAR was able to acquire the title in the name of the Republic of the Philippines.
Okay.
That's the basis for the day of the computation.
Okay. Para lang we can make some clear idea, no? With regards to the Luisida, you remember? The Luisida,
yes.
Okay. The Supreme Court more or less ruled that it was around 40,000 per hectare, no? But then I think the AS wanted it to be more because the value of the land, of course, have blown up, no? So, in your opinion, what really is the determination? Is it the 40,000 or the one that is being asked by the heirs to have it more, around 10 billion, something like that?
For me, I will follow the Supreme Court decision. Jurisprudence will tell us that according to the Supreme Court, it will always be based, the computation should be based on that day the government acquired the property. Because once the government was able to acquire the property, the presumption there was already compensation paid. Can already cancel, have it canceled, and place it in the name of the Republic of the Philippines. So that's really the value to be determined. So the role of the DARAP is merely to find out if the computation, the formula
karong buntaga, doon natay lain nga question kagar? Okay. Natay lain question, sir, ba? In addition ana mga land disputes kay matud pa nila depende man gud po na sa paglantaw o half full ba ang glass or half empty, no? So muna depende na so ingon man gud sila nga ang implement daw sa CARP kuno, samo kuno kayo tungod sa DAR. Kay ang DAR to ara sige gilaban focus ang DAR sa dito ra tamanta sa mga tenants. Naa pa pud mo'y panahon nga mulaban
presented. Kung if it is the modification table of the for the side of the landowner, we will have to define what is the law is.
okay.
Kung if it is the law, the cases of the landowner, we have to define what the law is. We do not give such kind maro our level, the lower level, diretso sa korte. Minsan, tinitingnan yung korte
Tagad mura niya og balance ra mo putingali, no? Because this is a social legislation. The end of it is social justice. So mo naging Manila nga ang slogan ko na is those who have less in life shall have more in law, no? Pero kana sa mga less in life. Pero doon ang po iban nga they have more in life but they have more in laws also. So, live na. Live na. So, muna, just like labor, no, while the code or the law more emphasize is on the right of the laborers or of the tenants, yet the landowner as well as the employers have also unequal rights, no. Dili man na sabton nga kuhaon ng tanan. There is a due process. Now, it is, of course, it is up to the implementer. If the implementer has the heart, no, he will know how to decide. Diba? Oh. Pero ang kuan lang ini, ang doon na lang bitaw distortion, kay when it was implemented, katong mga gagmayng yuta nga retention is 3 hectares lang or 5 hectares before. Oh. So more than ana, kuhaon, no? Something like that. I mean, that is the general rule. Now, we know that there were teachers who were assigned in the sa bukid, no, and then gasave sila, then they were able to acquire land around 10 hectares, no, through sweat, ha, nakaon na sila ginamos just to have land, no, for their children. Then later on, when this was implemented, kuha untong 5 hectares, no, mabili na is only 5 hectares, karon 3 hectares sa lang tingali. And then when they read on the newspapers, there are 2 big haciendas, taghang kay mga landlords, no, and yet until now sige ra gyapon ga kaso, agila taw na kuhaan. So mo ni ang perception na ngano nga ang dar mura og giduot, no, ang mga donaray tag-iya sa yuta. Because if this was not obtaining, then that would have been a very flawless implementation. But just anything, since this is made by man, daghang gyud ang mga it can never be flawless, but it is enough to say nga the law is good, no, because this is a social legislation. Maiganta so murag sakit, no, pero kayon sa tanan, this is one thing why until now we did not have a real revolution, no, because of this land distribution of the CARP.
Yeah, okay. So one way of gauging siguro ano sir og successful ba diri ang CARP implementation in Zamboanga del Norte only, no? Kay murag wala man siguro yung siging garali dito sa DAR. Wala may dadalag placards, no? Wala ba? And you are expecting wala. Okay. Okay.
No.
Papo ako. Kay ba sino ga-expect mo? Ha?
So long as we have Chief Adjo, no, and then we have Attorney Rubias, we have Rosel, we have Engineer Soropia, and then we have the legal counsel, si Attorney Zamora, who is our professor in the College of Law. No? I think everything will be all right. No? Ang problema yun, makambihan niyang lain, no? Basta hindi ka lang mag-rally na.
So you mean to say, sir, it's because of them, walay rally rin sa mga ganito.
Yeah, it's legal.
Because mamaya itong mag-gauge ba, no? Nga, murag okay rin na implementation rin sa DAR, kaya mamaya nag-rally. Compared in other places.
Actually, Bob, na ang advantages natin dito, kami naman sa Department of Agriculture Report, like this venue, we always educate our people on our accomplishment and the status of our program. Not only limited for the lands transport, but even yung program beneficial development. And of course, the agrarian delivery of justice, both the legal and the parent. So, people have been trying to educate. That is why it is a nice yung the youth people, the media, being our partner in promoting this program. Kasi hindi namin kaya kung kami-kami lang. Of course, like Attorney Barinaga, the shorting, the raising some clarification, is one way of educating the public about the program. And people of, I presume the people of the Zamboanga din natin, they will try to understand what is the program. Kaya nga hindi nagkakaroon tayo ng sa mga extreme approach on stating or rally for us.
Kini kong balaod it, no? Mura rin o ginag-ingon nga, ang balaod mo it is the song. The one who implement are the singers. So mo naging nila nga, the singers, not the song.
Okay. Balik ko din ni Attorney Covarrubias kay matod pa ni ani Parpo Adjo. Kuan man ko no, balance man ko no, na ay pro tenant sila, pro landowners po sila. Pero og gamay ra ang kaso between the tenants and the landowners, sa ato pa satisfied ang both parties. Yes.
That's an indication.
Microphone, sir.
That's one indication. Pero I agree with the perception of the group that this is a social legislation program. In fact, if you will look at the law, there are many provisions that favor the tenants or the farmers. Like for example, they are given free legal assistance if they want to appear in court, for example. The TAR itself provides for free legal lawyers, in fact, if not paralegal officers, no, that's one. And these are and if they will just allege in the complaint that they are appearing as pauper litigants, they will not be asked to pay any docket fee or filing fee. So these are some of the privileges given to the farmers. But to be fair, the DARAP has come up with our own DARAP rules of procedure. And if these DARAP rules will give everyone an equal opportunity to have his day in court. So that is the only assurance for us in the DARAP to say that balance ang treatment ng landowners as well as the farmers before the DARAP.
Besides that, even in the law, I think the interpretation, no, is in favor. Where there is vagueness, no, the implementation and interpretation of the law favors the tenant. That's also the case. And the kadwa po dito, ang adjudication is quasi-judicial. Kaya arin mo sa real korte madugay because of technicalities. Whereas it is a quasi-judicial, you do away with the technicalities, you're not bound. And then if the finding is only reasonable, is correct, substantial evidence, the court will not even disturb that.
Yeah.
No? So kita nimo nga murag faster, no, ang disposition when it comes to social legislation.
And it is non-litigious in nature ang proceeding. So we do not really have to observe the usual proceedings like in court. You cross-examine the witnesses, you ask him to testify. We are convinced once we cannot amicably settle the problem, the dispute, we just allow them to submit position papers and then attach their affidavits or other documents. And then the adjudicator is given so much leeway to determine which are valid and which should be credited as substantial evidence. So usually, but we prefer amicable or compromise because once there's a compromise, both parties are satisfied because it was the mutual agreement that brought about the compromise. So this will shorten the proceedings. Unlike sa court, if you do not have, you can appeal up to the Supreme Court. So it will take so long. So in these proceedings here, relatively shorter.
Thank you so much, Attorney Covarrubias. Looking forward, extension maning Carper. Is it achievable within the time frame nga mahuman ninyo tanan ang land distribution nga naka-pending, continuous nga kanang sa CLOA, and all those projects and programs, multi-million projects and programs under the DAR. Is it achievable?
Let me clarify, no? It's not really extension. Actually, it is an amendment to the original law. And once the notice of coverage has been issued, there is no limit as to when you should issue the CLOA and pay the just compensation. So it will now depend on the situation, because sometimes, let's say for example, for just compensation, if the landowner will go up to the Supreme Court, then it will release. It depends. So it does not mean we have to end by 2016 or not, because if the Supreme Court will resolve the issue of compensation in 2017, it does not mean hindi na pwede. So in other words, the process of acquisition and distribution has really no deadline. Only the
sure or yardstick to look at this thing unless there should be a process being established. One process, if you talk to us about our target, if ang among accomplishment for the past 7 months, we have only 381 hectares. Why? Because of some produce na requirement being covered under a part of the processing of the claim border. So therefore, in the remaining of 5 months, it is very a miracle for us to accomplish this land hoarding, this hectareage. One, because we have full agency being included in the implementation of this land acquisition. Aside from the Department of Government, we have also the LRA in terms of we have the land bank, and we have also the LMS. These are the agency being involved in the coverage of the land hoarding. So iba-iba kasi yung perspective nila in the processing of our land hoarding. And in fact, after we process it under AO4, the new process, masabing shortcut na. Dati, 72 state ang ginagawa. Ngayon, may shortcut to 20 plus na lang ngayon. Pagdating na sa land bank, when the land bank being examination for the land claim border processing, counting bagay lang, nire-return nila sa amin balik for review. And we have several claim border returned by the land bank. Second, our survey, when we able to submit to LMS for approval, counting bagay naman doon, dinabay, counting defective, nire-return naman for correction. So, and then afterward also, the LOD, kinakailangan namin yung mayroon annotation, yung titulo. So these are the agency have to look at. Kaya nga, at this year, mahina yung ang coverage namin for lana. For the case of program beneficiary, ang program beneficiary namin, mayroon tayong regular na funding. Mayroon kami yung foreign assisted project na funding. And this will be discussed later on by para to one when we have to ask some questions so that we can able to answer some more inquiries on this.
So, with regards to our submission of our claim holders, we have our new MC4, AO4 nga nag-start A4 Administrative Order number 4, AO4. So this time, yung mga claim holders namo nga na-lapse na ang ang FI, yung OCI, for 1 year. This time, nag-require na ang land bank for AO4 nga memorandum namin. So, most of our claim holders nabalik na karon sa DARPO because we changed the forms from old forms to the new forms. So, ngayon, nahirapan kami kasi bago yan ang mga requirements na po, including the joint DNR under inspection. So noon wala na ang DNR. Ngayon sa AO4 nag-join na ang DNR inspection sa.
Okay, thank you so much. Additional information achievable from Parpo Villanueva. Go ahead, sir.
Nangutana magugadit kung if it is achievable. Actually, within the Department of Agrarian Reform, murag ang sa PBD, ang Program Beneficiaries Development mo ay murag walay katapusan na siya.
Correct.
Because actually, we are talking of rural development.
Yes.
As long as there are poor, there will be a need for support services. The DAR now is expanding its viewpoint of how to look at support services that to include not only within agrarian reform communities and agrarian reform beneficiaries, but also beyond that. That's why kanang sa ato karong ginatawag og resettlement cluster which covers the municipalities of Gudud, Tampilisan and portions of Salog and Leon Postigo. We are also looking at areas. We are including in the area katong outside the agrarian reform community. So kung naay pobre sa rural areas, nagyoy need for support services. And everybody can imagine kano sa panami tabo nga wa nay pobre sa rural area. No? Kay kumingon kay kag sa rural infrastructure lang daan kung may istorya kag need rural unsay gusto ninyo ka barangay. Dalan ato istoryahan walay katapusan di mahurot og ang need sa dalan, water system, rural infra para ato istoryahan. Mga basic services, solar dryer, mga daycare centers, classrooms, na post-harvest facilities, walay katapusan. Now, usa ka component nato kanisa sa SILCAP, Social Infrastructure and Capability Building, wa po'y katapusan nga training. There is always a need for the poor, for the rural folk to learn new things, to change the mindset, to access credit, walay katapusan gyud na siya. So, usa gani sa controversy karon is kanang ang support services lagi daw kuno sa DAR may i-absorb sa other agency. Now, although na latest nga letter ni secretary that they are taking out the budget for next year magudunta na 2015, no? But in the letter of the secretary to all their employees, they have agreed with Secretary Butsabat to take it out do kuno that provision for nga ma-integrate na by next year ang PBD in support services sa DAR to DA, which leads a lot of questions na po on what form na siya na. So it's good nga dili sana siya mapadayon, no? Dili sa siya mapadayon until maklaro sa kung sa gyud ang forma.
Okay, thank you so much. But then again, sir, kanang i-transfer sa DA, it depends on the implementation. Kay kung successful ang implementation sa DAR, why transfer it to other agencies concerned, di ba? Then kato ingon nimo pud nga there are many poor in the rural areas, na gani urban poor sa Manako.
Kuan, kanang actually manggod accepted man na nga there is duplication of functions among the three rural development agencies, which is ang DAR, ang DA o ang DNR, no?
Yes.
Kay like kausalan acquisition, titling na sa LRA, napod sa DNR, no? Napoy sa DAR, sa support services na ang DA, na ang DAR, na sila FMR, na may FMR, na sila foreign in PBD, in support services to DA, considering that reform program officer na atay development facilitators in the
dili
field.
politicize. Dili mapiktahan sa politics. Whereas ana na ang
Bahin na
devolve, itong na-devolve sa LGU, politicize man to siya.
Dili man god kay kanang moingon ka og politicize. We have to accept that it's embodied in the local government code that the LGU is the lead. No? So dili ang national government activities where the LGU are present, si governor, ang mga mayor present, no? Because it is integrated already. The bureaucracy, the line agencies do not work independently of the political unit, which is the LGU. Kaya after all, kung imong tanawon gani kanang naman may ginatawag og ARC development plan, it starts from the barangay, in the presence of the barangay officials, pasaka to the municipal level, and we present it to the municipal sanggunian para ma-integrate na nga development plan. Dili ba siya marag naghimo og laing planeta ang DAR support services, naghimo og iyang kagulingong development nga ang kagustuhan sa LGU lain di ay. So it should be integrated sa municipal development plan pod up to the regional development council na ginasaka gyud nato na, no, para ma-integrative. So karong panahon na we really have to integrate with the political now. Politika na amang gyud na siya, no? We have to learn to live with it. The bureaucracy has to adjust to it para maminaw pud ta sa unsa po'y kagustuhan gyud actually sa LGU, especially ang local chief executive, which is practically the voice of the people siyang area. Kay, di ba? Elected official man siya. So, presumably and theoretically siya gyud.
Yes, of course.
So, paminaw
Yes.
na to. Okay.
Tama ka dyan. So, before we proceed, ato na to sa commercial dito ni Edgar Soranda. Go ahead, Gar.
Okay, salamat din. Ato ng pasalamatan ng mga nagpaluyo o sponsor sa itong pinaguban sa Tulmanon ng Kapihan sa Dipolog. Salamatan na to ang Janos Marketing, ipanagihan ni ABC President Janos Yu. Naimutang sa Quezon Avenue, matawag sa telephone number 212-1148. Alang sa inyong mga sakinan, Janos Marketing. Si Honorable Attorney Sinin O. Angeles, atong Vice Governor, Presiding Officer sa Guniang Panlalawigan, Zamboanga del Norte. Honorable Julius Napikit, Presiding Officer Pro Tempore sa Guniang Panlalawigan, Zamboanga del Norte. Honorable Romulo P. Soliba, Board Member, Chairman Committee on Finance Appropriation sa Guniang Panlalawigan, Zamboanga del Norte. Pasalamat usab nato sa Dipolog Friendly Mart, care of Mr. Lyndon C. Diete. Ang grocery, RTWs, medicines, furniture, suguban pa inyong mapalit diya sa Dipolog Friendly Mart, Dalan, Quezon. Kung patawag kini sa telephone number 212-2309. Rotary Club of Dipolog, a service organization of business and professional leaders in Dipolog City. Service above self. Pasalamat usab kang City Councilor Attorney Junal Jojo Napikit, kang Mr. Nelson Velasco, atong Provincial Environment and Natural Resources Officer, Penro, DNR Santa Isabel, Dipolog City. Nato kang Honorable Board Member, 2nd District, Honorable Ronilo D. Lee, President Regional Board Members League of the Philippines, panelist sa Kapihan sa Dipolog. Ngato kang City Councilor Ruben Ligorio, Attorney Ruben Ligorio, City Councilor Dipolog City o panelist sa Kapihan sa Dipolog. Attorney Kenneth Rosal, President sa Integrated Bar of the Philippines, Zamboanga del Norte Chapter, Legal Consultant sa Kapihan sa Dipolog. Pasalamat usab kang Mr. Muhammad Dazan Adjo, ang atong Provincial Agrarian Reform Project Officer 2, Department of Agrarian Reform, Santa Isabel, Dipolog City. 5th Carper Anniversary of Fridar katuning na nakalabay, no? O dugan natong pasalamatan usab nga pipilas sa mga nagpaluyo ni atong panaguban sa Tulman Kapihan sa Dipolog. Ato nga pasalamatan sa Sunburst Fried Chicken, Hotel Camila 1, ang June Big Tire Care Center sa Dalin Quezon ni atong dakbayan sa Dipolog sa paginanglan sa mga baterya ligi duguban pa. Pasalamat usab nato sa atong Dean sa College of Law sa Jose Rizal Memorial State University Dipolog Campus, si kanhi Second District Congressman Attorney Roseliar Matoy Barinaga, atong Dean sa College of Law sa GRMSU. Ato sang pasalamat ngadto na sa PPIX Lodge, the PPIX Pension House, the Budgetary Pension House, of 5-star in Pension House Services and Accommodation. Ngadto sab sa GDL Enterprises alang sa pag-update sa inyong mga sounds ug uban pa mga video key karaoke. Expert niya na ang GDL Enterprises sa Dalan Kalibo, ground floor sa Pildia Building ni atong Dakbayan sa Dipolog. Ato sab nga pasalamatan ang nagpalihos ng panaguban sa Tulman Kapihan sa Dipolog. Ngadto na sa Gels Kingdom Playhouse and Catering Services, Highway Tono, Dipolog City. Kutaka lang si Ma'am Welma Diunglay. Masab ang stall number 100 sa Dipolog Public Market alang nas di kalidad ng mga aluminum o glasswares kanyang pangidahanglan na sa stall number 100 sa public market nga itong Dakbayan sa Dipolog. Si Attorney Rolando Iebes kanhi Gobernador sa Luwigan Zamboanga del Norte nagpaliw sa bisong panaguban sa Tulmanon Kapihan sa Dipolog. Ang DCIT Highway Minaw gatong Dakbayan nag-serbisyo naghatag sa high consumption Dipolog sa mga bagong rides alang na sa Kalipay Tibok Pamilya na diya sa Fantasyland nga sulod sa Gloria di Dapitan sa Dakbayan sa Dapitan. Dadang Tibok Pamilya ang Kalipay sa Kabataan kahimot sab sa ginikanan. Dadang ato na sa Fantasyland sa Gloria di Dapitan sa Dakbayan sa Dapitan. Ipaniyag dumala ni kanhi Congressman Romeo Nonong Haloshos. Mo kining pipila ka man nagpaluyo katong panaguban sa Tulmanon Kapihan sa Dipolog. Live inyong babati sa mga sibianan sa RMN Dipolog, Tatak RMN, igong masab sa www.rmndipolog.weebly.com sa atong live streaming sa tibuok kalibutan. Mabalik kita sa ato nga mga kabisita karong buntaga sa atong panaguban sa Tulmanon Kapihan sa Dipolog. Kauban na ni Edith.
Thank you so much, Edgar. Aniya na ta sa atong second portion sa ato ang Kapihan sa Dipolog. Kauban gyapon ang atong mga special guests karong buntaga, exclusive gikan sa Department of Agrarian Reform. Kay matod pa nila peaceful ra kuno kayo ang implementation diri sa atong CARP sa DAR. Busa wala kuno rally na hitabo. Ato ning padayuno nato ni unya og tinuod ba kanang naa satisfied ba atong mga tawo sa implementation sa DAR ug matod pa successful ba kuno ang land implementation diri sa land reform sa ato ang lalawigan sa Zamboanga del Norte. So, Attorney Matoy Barinaga, sir, go ahead with your question, please.
Pasumpay lang ko tong sa Development Council.
Yeah.
No, mura to, importante po to. Ang kontingalan na dit, ang atong programa, doon naman yun ay sundan. Pananglitan sa national government, doon tayo millennium, midterm, no? Development Goal. Okay. So, tanang programa nato should veer towards that. Otherwise, ma-left out man ka. Sa ito po, sayaw pa ni, samtang sayaw tagtango, di ta pwede mo sayaw cha-cha, kaya di man ta makasayaw, di ba? Mayabag man ta. So, more or less, inana man tingali. Ang kwan tingali sa local government is, the line agencies, they should ask unsa may mga programa, di ba? So, out of their program for the next year, or sometimes 5 years, na bitaw. That is why, magsige nung makita sa newspaper, we are always asking the national government to give us the roadmap. No, unsa man yung mga plano aron maka-jive ka dito nila. So kay may bala na, that is why you have the Development Council. Starts from the barangay. Ang barangay will identify what are the needs. So of course this will jive with what is the program of the national government, no? Then pagkahuman ana, imo man ang isubmit sa municipal or city development council aron nga ilang ma-rationalize, di ba? So mga line agencies, with the local government, wala problema if you follow the procedure. Pero pag naanang programa na anatanan, usbo nimo, mo na yung makaporkid, ha? Di na pwede, di ba? Mo na magkwarel na dahin mo sa local government, kanong kamo may magbuot, kami may nasa katawhan, kami may elected. We are the voice of the people. Ano? So, something like that. So, i-avoid na, you just become professional. Mangwa na sulod niya, ang uban dagko man. Diba? Usually sa Regional Development Council sa una, even in the DAR, bantayan ginako dahil pilay appropriation nato, pilay appropriation sa ubang provinces. O gamay lang galing pakutano dahil kung tiyara, ganun gamay mening ako, dako man inyo. Second, kinsabi daghang problema sa land reform. Inyo amo. Ug amo daghan nganong gamay mening amo, nganong dako man inyo. I mean, di ba? Mo na nga gikan ka sa ubos paingon. So, moral na ato lang ng una-una, no? Pero there can be no quarrel so long as you follow the procedure. And then dili ka pwede nga mo change anytime. Sa whims of prices, pag ingon nga, sir, mas maini sir dili to mayo ato abandonar kini atong buhaton. Na may mo dari kag juggling, no? So you have problem of pid up and up.
Okay. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir, for your wisdom. Speaking of DAP and PDAP, how much of the money diha sa DAR karon to be implemented gikan sa DAP or PDAP? Kaya madayon ba ni or dili? And how much of the money diha sa Okay, thank you, sir.
Generally, no, I respect for Sabuanga del Norte lang.
Sa Buanga del Norte lang, sir.
Dito sa Sabuanga del Norte, mayroon tayong share ng DAP. We have a share of 20 million plus to our ERCP2 project. And in fact, we have the municipality of Labason, yung Pinya, yung Siayan, Kutalak, and Tampilisan, Sindangan. These are who availed Shokono and Serway, as well as Baligyan.
How much? 20?
Nationwide for the assistance given to the LGU.
Okay, so update sa ta, sir. Before you proceed, excuse me. Kay gikan maka sa DAP ang funding sa aning mention nimo nga mga municipalities nga mga projects. Wala naman ang DAP kay unconstitutional man matud pa sa Supreme Court. So nawala na pod ang funding ni ani?
Definitely may nawala na yung 25% supposedly given to the
Okay.
But ang DAR ngayon to our national project Deputy National Project Coordinator, si Director Kiko, na dito siya ng 2 days sa atin, we able to have a discussion, gumagawa ng hakbang ang DAR for the LGU to ibalik yung 25% to the LGU. So under nag-request sila sa supplementary budget as mentioned by President Aquino.
Supplementary budget na.
Ang tinatawag ngayon is national assistant to national subsidy to local government.
Okay.
National subsidy to local government.
Pero para na sa DAR. Para sa DAR ng national
Yes,
assistance.
kasi yung
Dili na magamit og lain.
yes. Kasi meron tayong
For DAR purposes.
mayroon tayong commitment doon under sa term of reference between the ADB, the Asian Development Bank, and our program and the ERCP2 with the federal government. Yun, kasi yung 25% that was supposedly given to the LGU. So since the budget are taken from the DAP, ay nagiging controversial yung DAP, automatically inalis nila yun. So ginagawa nilang hakbang ngayon yung national subsidy to local government.
So that will appear either in the supplemental budget or in the
Yes, sir.
GAA.
They requested.
No?
Actually, they requested now is 818 million pesos for the RCP2 project. Nationwide. This is nationwide.
Okay. Additional information coming from Parpo Villanueva.
Para sabtan sa tanan, no?
Yes, sir.
Kini manggong sa tuang foreign assisted project nga in partnership ani sa Asian Development Bank. Pagsugod ani hinay kaayo ang uptake sa atong LGU, sir. Kay tungod sa kadako sa equity sharing. Ang equity sharing gud ani pagsugod ang first class municipality gani ka is 70-30. Mayo unta og 30 sa LGU, dili bali 70 sa LGU. Oh, first and second class mo na ang sharing. Na kung syudad, wala kay kuan, wala 100% sa LGU tanan. So hinay kay uptake gani na alarma nga ADB nga murag naputang question mark na ang Pilipinas sa utilization sa loan kay na naman gud ang kwarta sa tuwa. So dako kayo ang tabang sa ngalgo, no? Kanang ginatawag nato nga National Government Assistance for Local LGU. Nga modaga ni siya kay makita nato even diri sa to ang probinsya sa Zamboanga del Norte, dili biya dagkog income mga to ang mga LGU na kung sa man to mga LGU gipisgutan ganiha gagmay kayog ira kuan pa nimo na kung mag-project siya 10 million, kung mag 50-50 sila kung 5th class sila, 5th class 50-50 man ang sharing, 5 million ka ay yun ang mawala sa ira. So pag abot aning assistance 25% sa project cost yun ang kuhaon. So dako kayon murag ning saka ang availment sa ARCP to. Although at that time wala ta kabalo nga gikan dai sa DAP na siya. Basta kami nga implementor papasalamaton kay mi nga finally ning daga na gyud ang ARCP to dahil gipanguluhan pa ni Director Ulki kung abtik ayo nga mo facilitate. Bisan na dili kay 2009 migunta magsugod ning birada gini sa 2011 na paro, no? 2011 na, so na-delay na pero nakapas-apas gyud nga ang nabilin karon nga pondo is for agri-enterprise development na lang.
Okay, so sir, you have any more concerns? Concerns?
Sa to pa, magsige gyapon ang programa in spite nga wala nang PDAP, wala na ang DAP, because this will find itself in either in the supplemental budget or sa GAA. And then, it is longer a lump sum. Okay, what is, ang murag ang mga tao good mo react when you give a lump sum. It should be itemized, di ba? So, if it can be itemized, there's no problem. Pero pag lump sum na galing, allergic ang mga tao, that's precisely why it was declared unconstitutional, no? Kaya murag imong discretion. Panalitan karon mo ingot taga-anti ka basta imong buhato na, no? Murag but if it is aligned itemized or aligned budget, wa kay mahimo kung dili you have to implement it if there is money, no?
Okay, kanang equity sharing ba, sir? Kanang ato mo ganang na-observe nga ang LGU nga mohatag og equity, they are more responsible of the project. Dili sila ingon nga ilang tamhangan lang sa mga tao beneficiaries kay tungod kay doon na sila gitampo sa funding. So murag one way also of kanana ang sharing the obligation ka basta kay og dole outs lang good, grants lang good, wala sila paki kay hinatag ra bitaw na dili ta anak mawili. Okay ra mga wala sense of ownership, correct. So whereas kung doon ay equity sharing, responsable gyud sila ato, manghita gyud sila ato ilang itong ampingan nga proyekto, okay, appeal gyud sila ato sa funding sa implementation, di ba?
Asa po mga tao becomes active, no? Kay ilang ng kwarta, 25% coming from your own coffers, it means you're the one paying taxes for that. So, ang mga tao, doon ay involvement.
Yes.
Pero purely dole out, ingon ba ang leader nga, pag-implement, dahil konsulta ang mga tao mo, konsulta po mo, ang leader nga, sabi diya, wa mo
mo dawat sa project kay wala sila ibayad equity?
Actually, in ARCP2, no, assisted by the Asia Development Bank, we're supposed to cover 15 municipality.
15.
ARCP2, kasi ito yung cost sharing na. Yung ng LGU, they have focus on 35% sa in-kind. Bali yung 15% na lang yung monetary ng coming from the city of Dipolog. City of Dipolog availed the performance-based grant system. I understand the only city in the Region 9 who has availed that performance grant system.
Pupunta na og doon na ba'y usa ka kooperatiba, no, bahin sa tanang mga beneficiaries, no, in certain localities where they can make a cooperative whatsoever, and then through the guidance of the DIDAR or with the CDA, no, para it of the beneficiaries, no.
Yeah, and also the loan assistance for beneficiaries. sir.
Ganito kasi sir, yung law governing with the support services come in immediately. And we could it as a by Parwan, Villanueva.
But
Okay, Paro Villanueva, please.
Sir, ingon na din siya. Your question was, murag puro infra ra gyud kayo. Actually, puro infra ra gyud to nisgutan ganiha kay tungod naton gisgutan ang DAP manggod to. So, pero actually, all programs sa DAR, which is in this case, katong ERCP2 nato, na siya tulo ka component. superseded na karon sa atong ubang credit program. Under sa atong agri community driven development, community organizing yun na siya. In Zamboanga del Norte, we have 114 ka ARB organizations, no? Gina-organize nato na siya, and then nag-mention ka, Mayo kaysa, nag-mention ka about CDA. We have a partnership with CDA right now. Dar CDA partnership in giving kadtong mga mandatory trainings nila. So, ang idea dire is, dili lang ta magbutang og rural infra, kung dili nakatahi kin siya. Halimbawa kung magbutang ta og dalan, nagyon ni siya reason nganong magbutang tag dalan. Nabay negosyo ato establish din ha, ingon ana, no? So, kung katong wala pa, we are looking back and reviewing everything nga para mahanay ito siya.
Meaning, there must be a simple feasibility study before you embark into it, no?
Actually,
Para to determine.
Actually, sir, ganun sa mga foreign assisted project, dili lang kay simple feasibility study. Ganun nakita yung mga specialist. Kamo conduct yun feasibility study. What's the cost? Ani nga dalan, what's the return ani kung magbutang ta ani? Pila may ma-decrease sa plitihon sa cost sa pagkarga sa mga produkto. Makatabang magyud sa ekonomiya sa lungsod ana siya.
Bisa mabitaw ni dit nga sometimes we need some leaders, no, who kaning mga elected. Usay ni nga has vast experience by sa development. Si Congressman Sigani Amatong, because he came from the local government. Kuan siya, we were together we went to AIM, we went to United States, we went to Germany, purposely for developmental. You can get his kuan. The rest are very good, no, pero I think he has more experience in this. Arita sa
sir.
medyo novel idea about agrarian. You know, whether you like it or not, agrarian will have to cease after its noble purpose has been accomplished. There is always an end to everything. Okay. And second, but the agrarian can still exist beyond its life. O ma-conceptualize na to nga, you know, we give more emphasis on agricultural, okay? But many people are suffering because you are going to make a statistics. And I think the DAR has to start their own investigation and statistics, because time will come nga it may not be agrarian DAR, but something like urban na. Urban, so DOR, Department of Urban Reform. Urban Reform, di ba? Is it possible? Karon, you go to Manila, you go to urban areas, in every population or central location of every municipality, only few people own the juicy and the priced land. No, so there must be something. Something has to be done to distribute, to rationalize, no, to rationalize of how much only you can own on urban areas, no, throughout the Philippines. For instance, okay, you are given, say, 5 hectares of urban areas throughout the Philippines. 5 hectares in the urban area, that makes you a millionaire already. Is it possible? I mean,
Yes, sir.
that's parang public corporation. It's more of a corporation, or do also the housing and ano.
Okay, Parpo Villanueva, please.
Actually, sir, DAR has not reached the urban areas pa nga sa pagkonsepto. But I think that it can be addressed by the comprehensive land use plan, no, that every province, city, municipality should undertake. Now,
Land use.
Aside from that, kung imong tanawon, the urban centers are being congested because of the influx of settlers, migrants from the rural areas.
Correct.
And it is understood, data shows in the Philippines that we'll have the opportunity, dili na mo adto sa urban centers para mangita sa opportunity to make an income. Kaya mo man ay makapuno biya nato dire ka na mga blue collar workers nga wala man goy opportunity gyud sa lungsod, buhanin na lang gyud sa syudad.
Murag, this was the concept, no? Nga it is more of explosion than implosion, no? Because people for instance, Region 9, we have low wages in order to attract manufacturers. No? Pero it did not happen. Something is wrong with it to the extent kato na mga workers are suffering. Okay, it is supposed nga katong congestion sa mga industries sa Metro Manila, they're supposed to go to the provinces. Aron nga doon na tapat. It never happened. That was made during the time of President Cory Aquino. And how many years are we now? Wala gyapon. Dipolog. Ganun ba ito yung factory? You think of it. Sa Buanga del Norte, unsa may itong factory?
Factory sa bata.
Kana. Dagan, no? So, we have to rationalize again nga kini mga butang nga husto tong kang resell, pero that's a wishful thinking. You can, it's very hard to develop the rural areas kaya mga tao mo man dire. Ang it's nature. Going to the population sa municipality going to the city going to Metro Manila, or pang Manila going to United States. So that's the nature. How to stop it? No, you need a lot. Pananglitan karon. I mean, going further, no? Mindanao lang. We have been always espousing, no? Mayor pa ko, kami ni Governor Amatong, we're fighting for a railroad, no? Pag-abot ni mo sa Mindanao, we became congressman. Murag, wa man yun, lukewarm when it comes to Mindanao. Nganong kinalamatag railroad, no? Mauna nga, makakaon pa ang taga Manila o taga Cebu, durian gikan sa Davao, kay kita dire. Because of the transportation. So, transportation really calls, no? I mean, akong gingon, we were sent to the United States for 1 month, no? Free. Way bayad ang gobyerno sa Dipolog ato. That was USAID sa Kwan. We went to, first stop na mo sa Honolulu. Ako gintan ako sa price. Pag-abot mo San Francisco, ako gintan ako price. The same man. The same. Because of their system of distribution. No, abot mo Mississippi, nakaon mo itong fish fillet. Ganang itong murag milk fish. No. Pag-abot mo sa LA, kaon po me. The same price. No? So, ato, the same price pagod. Wala. And the price is going up and down. Ang ila dito is more or less maintained. Probably because of the system of distribution. Our farmers will never be encouraged to plant. Pag dako ilang mga production, ang mga daot, magaling, mabaligya, ang presyo, magulang lang sa pangayo. No? So, wag yung encouragement ta. So, that is the thing siguro nga, pagkabot, that's a wishful thinking. We are not we are not in Malacanang, so we don't have to do that.
No, sir. So, generally, ang proper observation in the implementation of the Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program, specifically lang sa atong province, no, ang general observation is, ang mga tenants maka-acquire na sa land through sa DAR distribution. Karon kay naman yung mentality na to nga ato iprinda ang yuta, atong ibaliga ang yuta kay mula ra gyapon tag Manila. So, kitong land, it defeats the purpose, no? Katong land unta nga itil unta to nila para mo mulambo ang ilang panginabuhi. Giprinda magpinadali og easy money man kay adtog Manila. O kay basin og magkuanto siya ba magpa artista, no? So, nawala ang essence of land distribution nawala. So mura na ay gyapon ang idle lands, di gyapon productive ang mga tawo nga namuyo ug ang beneficiaries kunuhay nga gitabangan pag-ayo sa DAR, wala gyapon ni asinso ang ila ang panginabuhi.
So pa ana dit, before forget. Ang atong farmers mura og wag yung insentibo. Why? Pagkatao nila ilang lolo tanan daro.
Farmers na.
Daro. Pagabot sa anak,
Generation to
daro.
generation,
Pagabot sa apo, daro. Nang eskwela, human o college. Ay, kung ingna nga mo daro ng college student. Diba? But in other countries, medyo na-improve na sila because of technology. Imbis ka magdaro doon na traktora. Sa ibang lugar, aircon pa yun, no? In 1984, dito may sa Japan, no? Kita na ako, ang mo harvest, makina na. 84 ha. Kato daro. Karon na-improve da kanarang turtle. Turtle ra. So kinsa may gusto mo da kuan. So we have to also come up also with the technology. The technology is there. No? Kang gasto tagdag ko ubang mga butang nga di kinahanglan, why don't we give to the farmers? At least before I left sa Congress sa San Jose, we gave so the daro sa agri ba to? One traktora. We give them kanang mura to sa one product, one municipality, barangay. So we went into that together with the Dole. Compete sila doon na sila usay lang ini kining sa rice bitaw. Then they have a truck, kanang kaning kanang yun, di makina bitaw. Rice, I really remember si Monsignor Munggiran. No, one time, Congress Mayor pa ko, kana laging magpambitaw ka ng bitong sa garbage.
Garbage collection.
Mayor. Mura bag inhuman nga karga pa kay ana sa kuan bitaw. Moto nga at that time, may rapot si President Ramos, gave us that truck kana bitong kuan garbage sa truck. So more or less ko na sila. That's why we provided them with boots tanan. Kay di ko kalimutan na nga mura og dili bitaw dignified na itong mga tao still working, no? Nga with the advent of technology kita kakatulog lang gyapon, so we have to adjust.
Community nga nilambog yun nga naatan ng resources sa DAR, wala man siguro gani poy na kuan nato na consider nato ana ba ang ilang mga apprehension pud ba ilang mga kuan ba mga panglantaw. So I think this is the proper forum, the proper time nga ma-explain ninyo nga na existing na siya. So yes sir, Parpo Adjo.
Actually, in Zamboanga del Norte, based on our ARC, yung agrarian reform level development ARDA measurement of how the development of ARC. We have level 5 category, which is yung modern ng ARC, is Sindangan, yung Isbarbem ko under Cerebali State yun. We provide several components from the land transfer, then the support services kayo. Sila yung ano, po. Even against justice, we always give free legal assistance. And in fact, yung maturity level nila, mataas na yung Sierra Valley, yung Isbarbeco maturity level. We have, including our paralegal clinic, tinitrain namin so that they can have a knowledge on how to mediate in their conflict, how to consolidate their conflict. Second, also, we have our yung train ng yung PBA lawyering. We train them how to prepare the budget proposal, ganun, investment plan. So, na-develop, nagiging modern na yun, yung ang Sierra Valley.
Did I remember sa Taiwan before they become unique, no, or industrialized country. Mura og individual, ug doon na sila yuta, mura sila self-sufficient. They plant vegetables, they have their own what they call this, and then fish. Mura sila doon ay fish pan kanang tilapia, no, and then they have mga animals. So they are very self-sufficient poultry, no, if they have 1 or 2 hectares. Now that is individual, and then probably you can graduate that into a community where the Sierra Valley. Pero tingali we should see one family with 2 hectares nga complete na siya, di na siya pulit og isda because ang tilapia inland ba na, di ba? Those are inland. If we can do that, man, we will be in the map. We will try to, if we have one, we'll try to help on that concept.
Actually, maganda yun. That's a nice perception, a nice suggestion. No? Actually, we have similar approaches with that. This week, we have just have an orientation, yung a partnership ng DSWD, the RDA, and the World Agricultural Organization of the United Nations and the World Food Program. Kasi convergent. Yung partnership for hunger and poverty. Ni-diversify din ngayon ng role of every individual kung in terms of planting such vegetable or any crops there so that they can augment their family income. We made a pilot in the city of Dipolog in our project, irrigation project. Kasi malaki yung numbers of irrigator association yung ginawa namin pilot. So along the way, we were able to expand this program to other municipality. Recently.
Okay. Since you are running out of time, 2 questions lang, sir. What are we looking forward to sa DAR? Mga multi-million projects nga to be implemented this year or next year maybe, involving many municipalities kay mao man ay handumon sa atong mga katawhan nga pabuto nato kay kini mo karsada na ni ang ato mga produkto ato nang mahatod dito makasapi na taaning niya. So what are the highlights of your program?
Ingon na needed. There is a realization now that DAR must focus on agricultural enterprise development. No? Unless there will be new foreign assisted project that will be coming in with rural infrastructure component, ang regular DAR will be focusing on agri-enterprise development, social infrastructure and local capability building, no? Access to mahulog ang sa rural infra or access facilitation na lang, no? Because ang ubang agency like DA, the PWH, dagko naman kayo silang budget for rural infra. That's why karon man gani kanang sa ARCP2 kasi ginagpanday-panday nga kung makahimo maka-extend for another 2 years tingali or 1 year, but it will be for agri-enterprise development now. That's why makita nimo karon ang ato ang activities karon are more geared on agri-enterprise development, no? Trainings, partnership with other agencies, no? DAR DTI, nasa credit, private-public partnerships para to empower these people and provide them the opportunities to become finally entrepreneurs, no? So that's what we are expecting na ganin. Next week we're going to present our resettlement project area for approval naman gud punta na, no? Kada atong gihisgutan ako ganang Gudod, Salog, Postigo, Tampilisan. Kung imong tanawon basahon ang development resettlement cluster development plan nga gihimo, ang rural infra component kita ko it's around 1 billion kapin. But I don't think that we will be doing it anymore. Ang DAR, probably it will be other agencies or it will be taken up now. Especially karon that the government has a lot of money. Wala ka, it's not very keen on mangutang na pod. Kaya na may daghang kwarta ang pondo ang gobyerno karon kato mga na savings, no? Na increase ang efficiency sa implementation. So most likely duha magununta natong kita na napan kini sa IFAD, no? IFAD kato hinumdum mo sa Western Mindanao Community WIMSIP sa una. IFAD man to gihapon. Kana siya nag-coincide na siya in this resettlement cluster, resettlement area. Now, gi-identify po na to siya as cluster area po para mapasulod na to siya under ARCT2. But, duda ko, mahitabuan the funds will come from regular funds already, from DAR, para mabutang din ha, because kita siguro tanan, sir, naka-agreement na na there really is a need for intervention din ha sa area nga resettlement na to kay taas-taas ba yun po ang poverty line no? Ang poverty index diya taas. Then we want to take out Zamboanga del Norte gikan sa katong one of the poorest provinces. Gani ka nato ang partnership karon sa Philippine Crop Insurance. 100% subsidy ang Zamboanga del Norte pinakauna for this year. Ang dinhi sa Region 9 ang Zamboanga del Norte mo 100% subsidy. But why? Kay tungod kay poorest daw ko no. Now murag kung tanaw ko karon, kung mutanaw ko sugawa karon di ba gyud por kay nindot man kay ganang masakyanan di ang ako no. Pero which brings me back to Attorney Barinaga's comment on urban development po. So we have to level off the disparity between urban and rural development kay murag ang gap bitaw dako kaayo basi pag nahitabo hinon taas na kaayo ang diferensya between the rich and the poor. Where is the middle class now? The middle class should be spread all over Zamboanga del Norte, its municipality.